This match is a sad one. Look at the score right now. 3-0, 6 minutes on the clock. The last pick was Torvald, by the way. This is just sad. I'm just going to say this. The entire point of this video is like setting up for my next video, which is how to draft and how to stop being the reason that your team has lost. Let's go ahead and talk about the issues in this team composition that the enemy has and why they should have actually had a greater chance than us at winning, and that yet they are not winning. Look at the composition. You've got Io, you've got Genos, you've got Torvald. So I am assuming that Torvald is going to be giving Moji a 1k shield, which we're going to need to buy Wrecker for. Then I'm assuming that the DR from Io is going to be helping Moji stay alive even further and keeping her topped off each and every time she might use her magical barrier. And next up you have Genos, who not only gives her even more sustain, but also gives her 15% damage increase. That 15% translates to dealing, instead of 1850 damage every second, 2100 and I think 27 damage every second. That's a lot. So basically, Moji into these three, keeping her alive, we're supposed to kind of lose this even if the map is Frog Isle, except for that fact that they didn't have a point tank, they didn't have anyone to make space for Moji other than the sustain she has. So basically, if we all just looked at her, or maybe if Khan stuns her, she's dead no matter what, because the entire team is gonna be looking at her. So it's a bad composition. Maybe if they ran an off tank, another off tank, with instead of Shaolin, then they should have won, right? Well, yeah, that is the case. They would probably have won. For example, if they picked Terminus and put Terminus in front of Moji, and then Luna would cap the point for free, since Moji's gonna be, well, invincible, literally. It would have been a really sweaty match if that was the case. And yet, it's the other way around. I am winning while playing a passable loadout on Leon, okay? It's not the greatest loadout out there. I just am still on my training wheels as Leon. Please understand that, okay? Don't judge me for this. We're going to be looking at the enemy talent choices first, which is kind of sad. Let's go ahead and look at their last pick, which was Torvald. Field Study. I'm assuming that they have watched that Moji plus Torvald equals OP video by a certain content creator, where their staff, their aid, their duo support, or their duo partner, sorry, trolled them by picking Field Study. Your shield has only and only 500 HP without thanks ground pound, meaning that Torvald has no talent currently, because if any of us shoots that shield once, okay, Leon does 400 damage per shot. If anyone else just breathes on that shield, it's gone. If I buy Wrecker 1, which I do by the way, the shield is gone in one shot. I didn't notice that he had Field Study until late in the game, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I buying Wrecker for this Torvald? Okay, whatever. So basically, now it's a 4 versus 5 because Torvald doesn't exist. He literally isn't doing anything. Next up, you have Genos. We have Zen. He picked this because he's afraid of Zen. Really? Really? Do you even understand what this does? He's just gonna pull up his counter, and if you don't shoot it, the duration on this, which is 2.5 seconds, is gonna be, well, mostly wasted. If you shoot that, he's just going to get the freak damage, maybe even if he's running cards for it, and he's not. Yep, he's not running any cards for it. Well, he could have had any cards for it, but still, if he bought Resilience, let's look at that. He bought it, but the match didn't last long. This is only the 6th minute, and now your talent basically does nothing. At Resilience 3, it's a 1 second instead of 2.5 seconds cripple. And by the way, the damage dealt is gonna be less. So the duration is less, the damage taken is also less because it's damage over time. So keep that in mind. If you ever want to pick this, consider the fact that you would never ever need this talent in truth. If you're afraid that a double support composition would die to a flanker, you're wrong. Okay, you're absolutely wrong. No matter what two supports they are. Close range Genos deals 900 damage every second. Io will, without her Luna, she deals 400 every 0.6 seconds. That's her only source of damage without Luna. Okay, so you're dealing around 1300 every second. Okay, it's, if we actually make the calculation 1.2 seconds, Io's gonna be dealing 800 and Genos is gonna be dealing just a little bit more than 900. Okay, this is great. This is gonna mean that you've dealt almost 2100 HP to that enemy flanker in only 1.2 seconds. Let's look at his base HP. It's 2k, okay? Zen has 2k HP and he doesn't have it buffed. On double supports, you only need 1.2 seconds of shooting him for him to die. Why do you need this? Okay, I understand that it can situationally be good, I understand that, but the best thing about Genos, the only thing that's keeping him meta, as a matter of fact, is Luminary. Nothing else is good on him. His healing is fine, it's okay, it's great on flanker since he can heal through walls. But other than that, no. Just no. It's not only about those two though. I'm not actually shaming these players. I'm sorry if I feel like I'm doing that. I really feel bad right now. I can't cover up their names since I don't really have that great of an editing software right now. I'm only using free stuff. Let's go ahead and look at Io. Talent choice is alright. It's the best and only talent on Io. This is the only choice. Good. And then you look at the loadout. Let's switch to her just for a better view. Spirit arrows at 4. Why? Why do you need this? As a matter of fact, she's playing damage, by the way. She's dealing damage instead of healing her team. Let's just see if I can pull up the numbers. Objective time, damage shielded, healing. Okay, there it is. Genos, the enemy Genos, while he's playing the Power Cosmium, has healed for more than her. Don't you kind of feel sad about that? Now, the only reason Furia has healed for so much is that we have Inara and she's playing Solar Blessing. Whatever. Now let's look at the loadout again. This, you don't need this at 4. I've already showed the loadout for those crazy people that want to keep moving Luna around. And this at 3 is more than enough. Sanctum of Faith. At 4 points is the minimum. 4 points means, on this bad loadout by the way, okay? You wait 4.5 seconds without healing anyone to regenerate the entirety of your Moonlight. Which is the exact same time you would need to deplete your Moonlight from full to 0. Okay, at 4 points. At 5, it's just a tad bit faster than that. So, yeah, we're running this at 3. I don't have a problem with this at 2. And yes, I have been getting comments about people running this at 5 and claiming, Io has the worst self-sustain in the game. This activates actually 6 times every second. So if you have this at 5 points, you're healing yourself for 300 every second, which means over 3 seconds you're healing yourself for 900. Look at Furia's self-sustain. Let's just see if she has the card. I'm just gonna switch to her. Where is she? She doesn't even have it. Okay, Furia's self-sustain on Burning Oath. It's a 525 healing, if I remember correctly, over 3 seconds. Furia's self-sustain is the worst on supports. It's not Io who's the worst. So why do I say it's, well, more than enough at 3 points? 30 times 6 isn't that great of a number. It's just going to be 180. That's not a lot per second, but you're playing Io. Please understand that you are playing Io. Your team will most likely peel for you. You're gonna get out of combat. You're gonna be safe most of the time. Enemy flankers diving you? Well, it's not your fault. It's the team's fault if you're dying because they're not protecting the thing that's making their team OP. And still, even with that, I still win against that flanker 1v1 most of the time. Okay? Really, really, please understand that there is a reason that 2 is enough, and that's actually playing in a duo with a damage backliner. They'll be saving you each and every single time. Okay? You're gonna be giving them awareness. Hey, the enemy flanker has respawned. Hey, they're going left. I can hear the horse coming left. And then they're gonna, well, maybe they're gonna reload and get ready and forget about whatever else is around them, whatever they're shooting, and then focus that flanker. Okay? Then you're still gonna be fighting 6 versus 4 because that enemy flanker died. In that time, you can literally be healing someone else and ignoring the enemy flanker sometimes if your duo is that good. Okay, for example, if you have the perfect Cassie in the world, she's just gonna delete most flankers with her combo. Luna might actually, by mistake, for whatever reason, if you shot one arrow at that enemy, the Cassie combo will have finished her off. If they had some self-sustain of some sort, maybe Luna's stun might finish off that enemy. Okay? Keep that in mind. Please. Please. Next up, Swift Arrows. I don't have a problem with this card, even at 2, doesn't matter. It's a good card, no matter what. And then you have Protectors, which requires you to be like this, near Luna, which she does not do because there's no point tank. This is why I keep multiple loadouts on me, because there's always gonna be that situation where your last pick doesn't pick a point tank and you're forced to compensate for that. Not on IO only, I'm talking about in general. For example, Ruckus. There is a loadout for Emitter that actually makes it kind of sort of viable to run Ruckus as a point tank in emergencies, and you're still not going to be running him as a point tank. You're going to still be off tanking, killing the enemy backliner, and then darting to the point to contest it. Because your team forced you to. Not because it's good. The loadout's name is Emitter is bad, by the way. Okay, you can import it from me. It's a sad state of affairs. It doesn't have the R. It's a bad and laughable loadout, but it's the backup. It's the backup on one of the worst talents in the game, which is Emitter. Okay? And I have to keep that loadout on me at all times, just in case. Look at the match details right now. So yeah. Moji, since she had that much sustain, even though it was a bad sustain, still dealt the top damage. We weren't even close, like 70k versus 101. It's not even 70. And yet we've won for 0 points on her side, because simply the game is about the objective, not about how many kills you get, not about eliminations. It's not about healing numbers either, okay? So yeah, her team didn't heal for much. Of course they're not gonna have healed for much. I was playing damage for some reason. Didn't deal that much either way. This is just sad. Okay, please understand this. If you really want to enjoy the game, I'm going to tell you why you're getting such bad teammates in the first place. The game allows you to join ranked at level 15. If you do that, you've just set your elo to bronze. Literally, because you haven't played the game a lot in casuals. The elo that the game starts you at is the number of matches and hours and wins and losses that you've had in casual before your first ever ranked match. If you've entered ranked at level 15, you've doomed yourself to a very, very hard grind and the need to find allies and teammates that would actually agree to queue with you. Okay, it's really sad. And this is the reason that not a lot of new players stay in the game. This is the reason. They're trying to play to have fun, and casual siege isn't letting them because no one's picking a tank, and thus the game is being like a chicken fight. TDM has no point to it, there's no objective to capture, and Onslaught has sort of a higher queue time. It's, well, I don't know what to say, but the game should really not have ranked start at level 15. At least so that players don't accidentally punish themselves for it. So please, please, if you're still really new to the game, stay away from ranked until you happen to always be the first pick in any casual mode. Literally. Okay? Stay in there up to level around 70. Your account level around 70, and then you'll be getting good matches. You'll be getting acceptable matches, ones that are fun. Stick to playing casual for as long as you can. I've already shown this in my spectator video, but the thing is, grandmasters all started their careers by only playing casual and ignoring ranked completely. If you go on the forums, on Reddit, on Discord, everywhere, most players never even touch ranked because it's full of toxic people and harassment and throwers and feeders. I'm going to be addressing that in the next video. I hope you're enjoying Paladins and learned something from this video. See you in the next one.